Hey, everybody, welcome back to That's Good Stuff. We are spinning down the spiral for episode 3. Last time we left our adventurers, they had escaped a scary lighthouse.
Are they adventurers?
I was going to say, are they? They stay in the same town.
So they had to escape a lighthouse. And don't you think that they would call the army and nuke the town? No. Because we start off in a hospital where they're visiting their pregnant friends and family. So, are you guys starting to see the pattern with this show? It kind of tells us 3 little stories at a time.
Nothing has effect to the next episode. They just keep freaking out about more spirals.
Yeah. So the first little story, we're in a hospital and mosquitoes are bad, and everyone knows it, except for some of the pregnant lady are being like, I actually like mosquitoes. And this one was a little more gruesome, or a lot more body horror in this one. So we get let's just break it down segment by segment. What do you think of the hospital segment?
Okay, so the animation looks better this time. I'll give it that.
A little better.
Not like a huge bump, but definitely not sand running. Let's just put it that way. So this one isn't my favorite. Like, this story isn't my favorite. So it was all right. Kind of creepy. Well, it reminds me a bit of a Silent Hill.
What's the deal with the mosquito? What's the deal with mosquitoes?
What's the deal?
Like, what,
So the mosquitoes bite you, and then
they make you mosquito things. Is what I got. They're like,
they make you want to be a vampire. And then the pregnant lady, she's got like a baby, and the babies, they explain that like they try to cut out the umbilical cord, but the babies want to stay in the womb, because we even get a scene with babies talking about staying in the warm place, and their umbilical cords turn into like mushrooms, and the placenta is a mushroom. Yeah, and they start serving them in the commissary. So
why did we have a scene like the Rugrats movies where the babies are talking? They didn't explain that. They didn't say like, oh, mosquito babies mature instantly.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get much explanation for anything in this show, but I was eating and I just eaten, and this part kind of made me sick.
He just had some mushroom pizza and he's like,
I'm kind of grossed out at the moment.
you can't eat and watch this show. I'll say that.
I made food and watched the show. Does that count?
That's weird.
Meal prep?
Yeah.
You probably put some blood in the meal prep.
Stirring in spirals.
Need some platelets right there. Just like, a little bit of seasoning.
That's Jared, why he zoned out. He was stirring in a spiral and he lost himself to it.
Jared, do you have any thoughts on this segment?
I didn't mind it. It was a little bloodier, gorier, so it was a little plus, I guess. It's okay. Don't have much.
All right, so
the scene with the boyfriend talking about the inner ear, though, that was okay.
Yeah, that was way worse.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. He was like, ugh.
I think the doctor. Mom. I never had pictures, or they're out of date.
There's no diagrams on my wall.
We really dodged a bullet by taking that poster down.
It's fine.
All right, so moving on to the little second segment is all about a storm who's got a hots for Our Lady, and so it's sucking up the town. People are being sucked out, and her boyfriend's like.
I like how all 3 of us had the exact same reaction.
The boyfriend comes and tries to save her. There's not much to this part. I don't even remember much about it, but they like go into the sewers, and it's still this poor lady's like, oh, I'll help you, because she gets like stuck under a house, and she's like, I'll help you, and it sucks her up, and she's like, then she falls down.
Is this the one where the boyfriend, like a douche, burns down her whole house because he's like, my family's in that kiln, and he's like,
oh yeah, I forgot about that. And then at the end, they get sucked up in the storm, and they get like dropped on a beach, and it looks like they're dead, and like trying to resuscitate them, and then it cuts out, and it's like the next segment. So I don't know what happened either. Any thoughts on this one?
No, not really. It's kind of a bland one, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's felt like more of like the spiral is still in the sky, but it's got an eyeball and it's blinking at you. There's no eyeball. There's an eyeball. There's no eye. There's an eyeball. I promise you. I fly up in the sky, but she's got the wrong person.
It's like those hurricanes we have that are shaped like skulls.
What?
You know that there's. Oh, never mind.
Nope.
Jared, there's a skull behind you.
It's a hurricane, tiny hurricane.
Yeah, and then it loved her for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it was a person at one time. So the little third segment, they're all hiding out. Do what?
Sorry. The little segment that could. Sorry. That's a stupid joke.
They're all hiding out in this old house because they don't have a house. So they're hiding out in here. And she starts like, there's just this weird guy voiced by you-know-who. And he's coming around and he's like peeking at her through the walls and stuff. And this time the spirals are like these little thorn things that grow out of your hand and stuff like that. And he turns into like this giant thorn thing, even though they thought he was a nice young man, but he wasn't. He was a naughty boy. And he knocks down the door and attacks them. What else happens there's another thing that happens. There's this guy, right? Who was this guy? I don't know who this guy was. At the very end, he's all like cut up and he's bouncing on a spring.
Oh crap.
They're like, it's that guy. And he like falls apart.
I think that's one of their classmates, and I forgot which one it was. I forgot.
Yeah.
I feel like we're missing some context on this part.
I didn't know who that guy was at all. And it ends with the immortal line. The show ends on the immortal line. I think that's a suspension from a car or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
What a way to end your show. What do you guys think of this part?
I liked it more in the second one. I'll say that much. Except for the ending for the second one. The ending of the second one was pretty awesome and like brutal, like with the lighthouse and the kid catching on fire. But
the second episode. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, second episode. My bad. Not the second segment, but the second episode. My bad. I don't know. I like this one a bit more. Not as much as the first one, but it was decent.
Jared, what do you think about this show so far?
I was kind of enjoying it till this episode. I was kind of bored. I feel like this third episode just really dropped in like engagement. So I felt Michael's kind of disdain for it in this episode. So.
I just think these people are really dumb. Like by now, you would have moved out of town or something, but they stay the course. I know horror victims are supposed to be pretty dumb, but
I remember the line that made me laugh. It was during the whole like bunch of mosquito part. People were getting like eaten and stuff by mosquitoes, dropping because they're losing blood. And the girl looks to her cousin and she's like, "Hey, don't let the mosquitoes get you." It's like, duh. It's not like people are just like, bring it on.
Michael, any thoughts on this show?
On this show, oh dear God, I've been bored since the beginning. It's the most frustrating part is like the reset. It's like it's like the end of the it's like Friday is the end of the episode before several people die, some crazy stuff happens. Then we start the next episode Monday, and they reset their schedule. They're like, we're back to work, back to school, everything's fine. It's more spirals, but you know what? We forgot about last week and Susie who burnt to a crisp. They just move on. They're like, wait, we still hate spirals though. Oh, and there's mosquitoes eating people, and their pregnant baby talking mushrooms people. I don't know, and then it just goes nuts. And it's just like it's this weird cycle that for some reason they have like amnesia every time. Like we should, like you said, we should leave, or we should phone the police, or call for help, pray to God. I don't know.
How can the spiral get even worse at this point?
I will try to pay attention to the last episode because it is the last one next weekend, so I'll try to pay attention to it. This one, I was cooking and I was like, I just had it in the background.
I will say, it gets crazy. if they're going the route of the manga, it gets nuts. Just saying.
The way of the
The way of the manga.
Maybe they should have delayed it even a little more. It just made a cohesive story for it. I don't know.
Well, they're only about halfway through the manga is a thing, but the thing is, like, we've gotten to that point and we've already skipped a lot. So, I don't know. I it's interesting. So
yeah, maybe you didn't plan it out.
I'm enjoying it just because it's it's kind of cool. But would I recommend this over reading the manga? No, I would not. But I don't know. It could be worse, in my opinion.
I like the visuals of the show, but I think the pacing really hurts it.
Yeah.
Everyone was freaking out last week because of episodes 2. The visuals and
the animation drop.
Drop. It didn't freak me out because I wasn't expecting much when I saw who was producing it. So it's just like, okay. But we'll check out 4 and maybe it will shock Michael's world and he will come back.
It all makes sense.
He will become the Spiral.
He just has spirals in his eyes. Or like, oh no.
How many times did they say Spiral? Did you count, Michael?
No, I did not. I just got tired of crying about it.
Maybe
my ears are spirals. My brain stem is a spiral.
Maybe next time you should count because it might have some meaning.
It's true.
42.
All right. So we'll see you back for the last episode. Like, subscribe, and notify yourself for even more good stuff. And we will see you next time. Bye.